Woo! Hey, let's read the passage together. Then we're going to show a short video clip, okay? We're in the message of Matthew chapter 5, verses 33 through 37. So if you have your Bibles, go and turn to Matthew chapter 5, verses 33 through 37. Jesus is speaking, and he says, "Again you have heard that it was said to people long ago, do not break oath, but keep the oaths you have made to the Lord. But I tell you, do not swear at all, either by heaven, for it is God's throne, or by earth, for it is his footstool, or by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great king. And do not swear by your head, for you cannot make even the hair white or black. Simply let your yes be yes, and your no be no. Anything beyond this comes from the evil one." Now, who in our culture today who is famous, who has a reputation for waffling and saying, maybe I'll come back, maybe I won't, maybe I play? Anyone? Show the clip.
That's the new super slim Samsung LED TV. Best part, Sears can check the competition and guarantee you the lowest price.
I'm listening.
Do real-time price checks. We found that there's some guys out there that really agonize about making decisions, beat themselves up, get cold feet. You know what I mean?
Those guys drive me crazy.
They can't do it. They waffle, they flip-flop. It's tough for them. You know, decisions.
What are you trying to say?
You know, there's some guys out there that can't make decisions. It's just not something they're able to do, and then they do. I'm gonna be over here. Let me know if you need anything. Still here, huh? Yep. Poor guy can't make a decision. We're gonna head home, but you don't have to. And if you want to ride, let me know.
Thanks.
All right.
I'll be all right.
All right.
Real-time price checks, next day delivery, no regrets. Sears, life well spent.
I'm honored to be here after 29 seasons, 50 years old. When you're older than most of the fans, and coaches, and owners, it's tough taking orders from people. Should probably retire after this. I don't know.
You don't know what things will be like 10 years from now. But we can assure you that your Hyundai will still be covered. Introducing the all-new Hyundai Sonata with the assurance of America's best warranty.
I don't know. I think Brett Favre's pretty smart because he's making millions of dollars off of his reputation. Can you guys turn me down a little bit? This seems a little loud to me. But, you know, the Bible has a lot to say about integrity. And yet, now I'll be honest with you, I'm a big Brett Favre fan. I think he's great. And I'll be honest with you, he's 40 years old. And if you took the hits that he's taken, you probably wouldn't be sure if you wanted to play one more year or not either. So I haven't played any pro football, and I wake up some mornings and things hurt. You know what I mean? So I'm not poking fun at Brett. I just, you know, he's poking fun at himself. So I thought we would look at it today. You know, the whole let your yes be yes, your no be no, as much as possible. Now, here's my prediction. My prediction is Brett not only plays next year, he comes into training camp on time, and even a few OTSs. Brad, what do you think, buddy?
Not a chance.
Well, hey, we'll see. We'll see. Okay. But let's look at this whole issue of integrity, letting your yes be yes, your no be no. I heard a story of a wealthy businessman who was on his deathbed, and he told his pastor, you know, come pray for me, and if God heals me and I make it through this, I will give the church $1 million. Well, to make a long story short, God did heal him, and he was completely free and whole of his disease, and but never did give the $1 million to the church. So one day the pastor bumped into him on the street, and the pastor reminded him of his commitment, And he said, oh, wow, did I really say that? Boy, I must have been really sick, you know. And we probably all know people like that who say things but really don't mean it. Doug Sherman and William Hendricks compared the ethics in a book of Christians and non-Christian adults and found that almost as many Christians steal from work, are just as likely to falsify income taxes, ignore construction specs, illegally copy computer programs, steal time from work, as do non-Christians. All of integrity is an integrated life, a life without compartments. And that's really the best way to explain integrity, is to live a integrated life without compartments. The best compliment people could give me and have given me over the years, I'm the same person Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday than I am Sunday. In other words, we're the same people during the week. We are who we are. We don't change. We don't live in compartments. We bring the same integrity with us continually. A person that's fragmented, that kind of fakes it or kind of has compartments, that person really isn't honest with themselves, isn't honest with God, isn't honest with others. Life is not to be lived compartmentalized. It's to be lived in whole. Now, let's look at vows and oaths for a minute, because the Bible tells us not to make vows and oaths and those kind of things flippantly. Let your yes be yes, your no be no. There are a few vows to make. Which vow have we all made, those of us who are married? Remember it? And it goes something like this. What's that? Yeah, well, in sickness and in health, for richer, for poorer. Oh, help me out here. What? Thank you. In good times and bad, no, that's not how it goes. Help me out. For better, for worse, for richer, for poor, in sickness and in health, the death to this part. Okay. Now, now that's a great vow, but how many people keep it? Yeah, well, right now they say closer to 60% do not keep it, so 50 to 60%. But that's a great vow. I mean, can you imagine if every person who made that vow took it seriously, there would never be divorce. Because why do most divorces happen? They say financial stress, right? So that's the for rich or for poor. Or they'll say sometimes illnesses, sickness. Well, that's the sickness and in health. Or they're conflicting and not getting along. Well, that's for better, for worse, right? And we looked at marriage the last couple weeks, and we have surmised from statistics that essentially if people were to wait just 5 years before they got a divorce, statistics show that 86% of those people in 5 years actually have healthier marriages. So there's a lot to be said to just hanging in there, following through. The bottom line is, oaths and vows alone can't produce integrity, only following through on them. And not everything should be a vow or an oath. What Jesus is really addressing here is the person that brings God into it. Like, have you ever heard a person say, I swear to God, or I swear on a whole stack of Bibles? What are they really doing? They're desperate, so they're trying to pull God into the equation to somehow bolster their argument and bolster their position so they can look better in the eyes of people. So Jesus is really speaking against that. No man can keep God out of any transaction. God is already there. And a person that's making an oath is essentially saying, well, you know, I'm desperate, I'm trying to win the opinion of others, so I'll just bring God into it. The fact is, though, God's already there, and you don't have to bring him into it because he's already in it. He's in all your affairs, he's in all your dealings, he's in all your relationships, and he's already there. As Christians, by definition, Christ already dwells in us. So we don't have to call on his name into the situation because he's already there. He's in everything that we say and we do. Does that make sense? Does anyone have a $1 bill? No, things that top? I believe on the back, check out that you have it ready. I believe, do you have it? Thank you. Yeah, right on the back. You see that eye? What does that eye mean? It's right where the pyramid is. Yeah, the founding fathers were big into the all-seeing eye, and we know what they dabbled in, but essentially they believed that God sees everything and that all transactions are viewable from God's standpoint, that he sees all. And it's true, God sees all, hears all, knows all. So we shouldn't just lightly take God's name into the picture. No matter what, we should be open and honest because God sees all, hears all, and knows all.